Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another reaction because I just really like doing reactions. So, yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so this is called the 8 most disturbing things discovered in forests. So let's react.
James Schoeffler was a U.S. Forest Service officer in Utah. In April of 2012, he was conducting a routine patrol of a popular scenic hiking trail deep in the forest. It was about...
I really like that forest. I've never been to it, but it just looks cool. Like, look at all the wildlife.
Halfway through his walk, he noticed a tripwire strung between 2 trees at the entrance of a small deadwood shelter along the trail.
Nah.
He followed the wire and was led to a ball made of rocks and sharpened sticks hanging in the air, which was set to fall when the tripwire was hit. After further inspection, another trap was found at a second entrance to the small shelter.
I cannot.
This one was...
If that was me, I'd throw a rock at it to set it off. I just want to see it swing.
It's a bed of sharpened sticks placed facing upward in the ground. Again, a tripwire was set in front of it, which this time was pulled tight and would have forced the person to fall directly into the sticks. Police were called and...
There's only 1, 2, 3. There's only 5 actually sharpened sticks. But that would hurt. That
formed of the dangerous and potentially deadly traps. Soon they would begin conducting interviews of hikers in the area within the last few days. And surprisingly, this would lead them to 2 teenagers. They would confess to setting them up. However, they argued the traps were set for animals. Police would not buy this. The nature of the traps was clearly made for a person. Plus, they were...
That actually looked cool
way
swinging.
Too close to a popular hiking trail that receives a lot of traffic. More specifically, at the entrances to a small shelter, which easily would have attracted a curious child or unsuspecting tourist.
Yeah, that would too. Because I always go in shelters.
In 2017, Ivan, a 30-year-old man from Russia, abruptly went missing.
Why does he look like that? Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse, fam? Oh. Can you see it? Why is his smile like that? Can you see it though? And his eyes. Why can't you see his eyes? I don't like that.
In the Shatur district of Moscow. When he initially didn't come back, his family reported his absence to the police. And the search of the surrounding woods.
Why is he in the box?
No results came from this search, and it was eventually called off with no findings whatsoever. Fast forward 2 years later to 2019, and a hiker in the same area called in to report the found remains of a human skeleton halfway buried under leaves. This human skeleton was later confirmed to be of Ivan. What makes the findings so disturbing, though, is what was found with the skeleton. Tied to the remains and nearby trees were multiple sets of handcuffs, locks, and chains. Ivan's tent was found close to the scene, leading police to believe he was attempting an isolated Houdini-type escape, chaining himself up and trying to free himself without any help. And then
I thought he was getting tortured or something, but if Bro wants to be the next Houdini, you can't stop the man.
This ultimately went horribly wrong. One of his friends even later stated that this type of stunt was something he could see Ivan doing, as he would often practice survival skills in extreme conditions.
I bet he would.
Others believe Ivan was murdered, and that the crime scene was simply set up after the fact so that it would look like it was a tragic accident. Ivan's official cause of death hasn't been determined.
Oh, these are good chocolate coins.
It's May of 2016.
Sorry, guys.
Trail in Harlan County in Kentucky. Suddenly, he sees something on the ground just slightly off the trail path. He gets closer and sees it's a...
Can you see it? I can't see it. I doubt that's not even in this photo.
Trail camera. Trail cameras are waterproof outdoor cameras that are typically motion activated.
Yeah, we know that.
To record wildlife.
I think.
Most of them even have night vision capabilities. They're a somewhat common sight in the forest, so the man didn't give much thought to the discovery. Although, this camera didn't have any memory card or batteries inside.
Then why is it there?
I don't think it was abandoned, so the man decided to take it with him.
Why?
Later, the man recalls giving the camera to a friend. When his friend put batteries in the camera, an explosion immediately went off inside of it. The trail camera was rigged with explosives that were set to go off the second batteries were installed. The explosion was large enough to blow off some of the man's fingers and cause injury to his stomach.
Oh! imagine an explosion, like, cutting off all your fingers and, like, Bro's appetite would never be a thing. He wouldn't even be able to eat.
Police launched an investigation and found another camera on the trail rigged to explode. Eventually, the cameras were traced back to a man named Mark Sawaf, who was immediately identified as a suspect. Police were granted a search warrant to his home, and there they found all the equipment used to create the explosives, along with a note that read, "Broken camera for a broken soul."
Okay. First of all, that's a very smart man. Because, no, hear me out. I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't think a lot of people can actually do that. Like, they wouldn't actually know how to do that. Well, I know one person that would. Mark Webber. Oh.
Mark was taken into custody. Meanwhile, more reports.
I don't want, That's better.
Cameras around the area were coming in. In response, police would take Mark back out into the forest and have him detail the locations of the remaining live explosive devices.
What if he
While in
forgot?
the forest with police, Mark would lunge at one of the officer's pistols in a last-ditch effort to get away. The physical altercation would result in Mark being fatally shot. Mark never revealed where his remaining trail cameras were before his death, although police believe there are numerous others within a 5-mile radius of those Kentucky woods, all of which just waiting to be discovered by some unfortunate person.
That's a sick.
In July of 1968,
But that's
a group of
stupid.
women were at a
Don't do
picnic table near their lake house at Lake Michigan.
I would not eat there. I mean, it's in the middle of the forest. Look at the bench. Like, why is there 2 benches right next to each other? I want to sit next to the tree. No, I want to sit where the table is. And then why is there no grass there?
They were playing cards together and having a good time when they were interrupted by an overbearing stench. It got so bad that the women began struggling to breathe, forcing them to cut their game short. They assumed a dead animal must have been nearby, and not knowing what else to do, they alerted their cabin's caretaker, Chauncey Bliss. Chauncey headed out to those woods, but instead of finding a dead animal, he followed the stench to another cabin he oversaw around half a mile away. He forced himself through the horrible odor closer towards the front door, but he quickly realized something was wrong. He noticed holes
I would not go in there.
in the glass of the windows. He glanced inside one of them and saw a woman's remains lying on the floor.
What the flip?
Behind her, he got a glimpse of several others in the same manner. Horrified, Chauncey ran away and called the police. Police arrived at the scene, and a total of 6.
Do you think that's Chauncey right there? I bet that is Chauncey. It's like, look at him. Look at his face. Who the flip is that guy? He's just like, huh? Huh? Oh, look at him. He's lying down on the floor.
6 bodies were discovered. It
6.
was every member of the Robeson family. No one had seen them in
What?
weeks, but the family had
Well, no wonder that no one saw him in weeks. They were in a cabin. Why does that baby look possessed?
told others they were planning on a trip out of town, therefore no one questioned it. Police concluded that they had been killed at least a month earlier. Investigations into who could have done this didn't turn out much.
Wait, I want to see this map. It's so blurry. I can see it better through the camera. Okay, so... what does that say? Robinson. Okay, Richard Jr. Gary. 1143 to Miss Robinson. So that's Gary. Richard, I'm guessing that's the child. That's the bedroom, I think. And then that's the utility and bath area. Sofa. Rug. Randall. I don't know what that is. Table and cards. Okay. That's creepy.
There wasn't much evidence at the scene, and the family didn't have any known enemies.
Why is he in a gas mask? What? Can someone explain to me why it's a sheriff with a gas mask. Probably because of the smell. They're all in gas masks. That's because of the smell.
The most prominent suspect was an employee of Mr. Robeson, but this man would never be tried in court. Over 50 years later,
I
it's
was
still
going to try
unknown
and
who's
read
responsible
a bit
for
of
the
it.
Robeson family murders.
Bailey? Okay, guys. Where was it? Anyway. No! No, that's... Is it there?
Woman's remains, please. Police arrived earlier. Investigations and still unknown who's responsible for the Robeson family murders.
My laptop's about to die, so if it dies,
Matt Bell
that's
and
the
a
end of the
co-worker
video.
were doing excavation work in the woods of Danville, Arkansas, when they came across a 32-pound old round ball in the ground. Matt thought it
32-pound ball.
was an old cannonball from the Civil War.
Cannonball?
He decided to take it home with him. The thing was dirty.
Why is his face like that? He's like, ugh, look at that ball.
Pressure washed the ball to try and clean it up a bit. While he was drying it on his counter, he snapped some
Why is
pictures
there
of it.
Why is there like a knob? Can someone tell me what that knob is? Because normally cannonballs are like circular, you know what I mean? They're like that. Circular, but that's not a cannonball because there's like a knob. Someone needs to tell me what that is.
The next day, he went to a Civil War museum to verify the object's authenticity. This is where he was informed that it wasn't a cannonball at all, rather a Civil War era pressure-activated landmine that was still active.
What? That's why there's a knob.
To take the explosive back home, where he called police. 20 homes in the nearby area were evacuated, and a bomb squad was called in.
That's not a bomb squad. Why does he have since when was that a bomb squad? In what universe is that a bomb squad?
The explosive was carefully taken to a landfill where it was safely set off. Matt recalls his co-workers throwing the mine to him out of a ditch when they first found it. That, along with multiple car rides and being pressure washed, Matt is extremely lucky the landmine didn't explode on him.
Probably the worst.
In July of 2016, a construction worker was doing routine maintenance on the right lane of a section of road on Interstate 985 located in Georgia. At one point during his shift, the man had to relieve himself, and so he started walking into the forest just next to him. He got about 80 yards in when he noticed a large object on the ground. As he got closer, he realized it was a suitcase. Curious, he zipped it open. Inside, he saw a human skull.
Oh, nah.
Immediately, the man ran back to the highway and told his supervisor, who then told the police. When they arrived, the man showed them to the suitcase. A full set of bones were discovered along with the skull.
That's crazy.
Later analysis would reveal them to be of a woman, most likely in her 20s or 30s at the time of death.
How do they know that? How has humanity gotten this smart to know this? That's what I'm trying to say.
It's assumed she died around 6 months before the discovery. Fast forward to 2019, and police now believe they've identified the woman as Jessica Mancini from Chattanooga, Tennessee. She was originally reported missing by her mother back before the suitcase's discovery. However, how she died, or who was responsible, are both still unknown to this day. In 1986, 19-year-old Christopher Knight vanished from his home in Maine to live in the woods for no apparent reason. For food, Christopher would...
Why would he want to live in the woods? Okay, guys. I have a clue. He's my brother. He's probably gonna like this. Hopefully, he doesn't ruin anything this time.
Tanks, batteries, and other stuff. People in the area were quickly made aware of his presence. Some
I'm
even
doing the
started
reaction.
intentionally setting out supplies
Of
for
what,
the
that
guy,
face?
so he wouldn't break into their homes during the night.
No.
But even though his means of living were pretty
Okay, so Bailey, he moved into the forest on his own.
well known in the area, if one thing
What
was
do you
certain,
think of
he
that?
did not want to be found. Christopher went to extreme lengths to cover his tracks. For example, he would opt to never start a fire so that the smoke wouldn't reveal his camp's position in the wood. Degrees Fahrenheit, but still, Christopher
I
didn't
swear,
start a
he's
fire,
gonna come in
instead
here.
opting to cover
He
himself
will
in
come in
multiple
here.
sleeping bags. But as the years passed and security cameras became more common, Christopher's
Okay.
Break-ins would eventually start showing up on security camera footage. Finally, 27 years after he left his home in Maine, he unknowingly tripped a surveillance sensor while routinely stealing food from a camp. Police were alerted and showed up to the scene. Christopher was
Sorry
so
about that.
angry, the first human contact he had in years would be him being arrested. Police had finally found and caught the man responsible for thousands of burglaries.
Sorry.
Eventually, Christopher would show police his camp. It was filled with decades worth of stolen goods. Christopher was ultimately given 7 months in jail, 3 years probation.
7 months? That's
It's April
not enough.
26th, 2021. The police department in Anchorage, Alaska received a disturbing phone call. The caller reports a freezer in the forest, found buried halfway to the ground.
What?
Inside of it, a body.
Oh.
Police rush out to the scene and from the highway are led deep into the woods where the freezer was once again located. They opened it and were able to confirm the caller's claims. A few months later, police released more information about the finding. The man inside the freezer
Why is his voice so deep? Like the one that's talking.
was 67-year-old Michael T. Teller, who had lived nearby.
67! Sorry.
Police were unable to identify how he was killed. It's also unknown when he was killed. He lived an isolated life. The last time he was known to be alive was 3 years prior in 2018, so it really could have been anywhere in that time frame. Whoever did this hasn't been found, and with nothing to go off of, this case was classified as cold, essentially from the beginning.
Okay. That's it. If you guys like my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want me to do more reactions, comment down below and I'll do more. I might turn this into a series. So, like and subscribe and find out.